Welcome back to PMP Exam Express. I am Mark, your host. We have for you beginner's questions on project schedule and Agile projects. These questions will help you better prepare for your exam or to expand your project management knowledge. Let us begin. Question 1. Based on the Gantt chart, which activity is on the critical path and would directly delay the project if extended? A. Activity 3. B. Activity 4. C. Activity 6. D. Activity 7. Correct answer, D. Activity 7. Explanation. Activity 7 appears to be the final and longest activity. A delay here will impact the overall project completion date, making it part of the critical path. Question 2. Which of the following pairs of activities appear to have a finish to start FS dependency? A. Activity 1 and Activity 3. B. Activity 4 and Activity 5. C. Activity 5 and Activity 6. D. Activity 2 and Activity 4. Correct answer, B. Activity 4 and Activity 5. Explanation. Activity 5 begins immediately after Activity 4 ends, suggesting a finish-to-start dependency. Question 3. Assuming each activity is handled by a separate team, which activity overlaps the most with other activities? A. Activity 4. B. Activity 1. C. Activity 6. D. Activity 7. Correct answer, A. Activity 4. Explanation. Activity 4 runs parallel to multiple other tasks, including Activities 3 and 5, indicating high overlap and concurrency. Question 4. If Activity 6 is delayed by 5 days, what is the most likely outcome? A. The project completion date will move forward. B. The entire project will be delayed. C. Only Activity 7 will be delayed. D. There will be no impact on the overall schedule. Correct answer, D. There will be no impact on the overall schedule. Explanation. Activity 6 is not on the critical path. Its delay won't affect the project finish date unless it prevents Activity 7 from starting on time. Question 5. Which of the following activities likely started without waiting for their predecessors to finish? Select 2 answers. A. Activity 2. B. Activity 3. C. Activity 4. D. Activity 6. Correct answers, B. Activity 3 and C. Activity 4. Explanation. Activities 3 and 4 start before their respective predecessor activities are completed, indicating concurrent or start-to-start scheduling. Question 6. An Agile team is using a burn-down chart to track sprint progress. Mid-sprint, the chart shows a plateau in task completion. What should the Scrum Master do first? A. Extend the sprint to accommodate unfinished tasks. B. Encourage the product owner to reduce the scope. C. Facilitate a discussion with the team to identify blockers. D. Assign tasks to individuals to accelerate progress. Correct answer, C. Explanation. A plateau on a burn-down chart typically signals that progress has stalled due to issues or impediments. The Scrum Master should help the team surface and remove these blockers to restore flow. Question 7. During sprint planning, a team uses velocity to determine how many story points to commit to. The average velocity over the past 4 sprints is 20. What should they do if last sprint's velocity dropped to 10 due to unforeseen technical debt? A. Commit to 20 story points again. B. Reevaluate and commit based on current team capacity. C. Ask the product owner to remove backlog items. D. Postpone the sprint until issues are resolved. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Velocity should reflect the team's actual capacity, including recent disruptions. Planning with an adjusted estimate promotes realistic commitments. Question 8. What does a cumulative flow diagram (CFD) primarily help identify in an Agile project? A. The team's average sprint length. B. Bottlenecks in the workflow. C. The total cost of delivery. D. Resource allocation across teams. Correct answer. B. Explanation. A CFD helps visualize how work progresses through different stages. When a column, e.g., in progress, grows disproportionately, it indicates a bottleneck. Question 9. In an Agile release planning session, which of the following is a key purpose of understanding team velocity? A. Assigning team members to tasks. B. Forecasting number of iterations needed to complete features. C. Defining the acceptance criteria for epics. D. Determining stakeholder communication needs. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Velocity enables teams to forecast how many sprints will be required to deliver features, aiding in schedule prediction. Question 10. A burn-down chart for a sprint shows that work is being completed faster than expected. What should the team do? A. End the sprint early and start a new one. B. Add more work to the sprint backlog. C. Do nothing and continue the sprint as planned. D. Ask the product owner for a new sprint goal. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Agile teams do not change sprint scope mid-sprint. Finishing early allows the team to refine remaining work or assist others, but scope remains fixed. Question 11. Which of the following statements about velocity is true? A. Velocity should increase every sprint for the team to be considered high-performing. B. Velocity is a fixed measure of how many story points a team must complete. C. Velocity varies and should be used to guide, not enforce planning. D. Velocity should be compared across teams to evaluate productivity. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Velocity is a team-specific measure and fluctuates over time. It's used for planning, not as a rigid target or comparison tool. Question 12. A team shows a consistently high velocity over several sprints. What risk does this pose? A. Reduced team engagement. B. Unrealistic expectations from stakeholders. C. Scope creep. D. Excessive refactoring. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Sustained high velocity may cause stakeholders to expect similar delivery rates, even when conditions change. Managing expectations is key. Question 13. Which of the following best describes how Agile teams track remaining work in a sprint? A. Earned value management. B. Burn-up charts. C. Gantt charts. D. Burn-down charts. Correct answer, D. Explanation. A burn-down chart visually represents the amount of work remaining in a sprint, helping teams track progress and adjust if needed. Question 14. What is the ideal time to update the burn-down chart during a sprint? A. Weekly at the sprint midpoint. B. At the end of the sprint during the review. C. Before sprint planning of the next sprint. D. Daily, after the daily scrum. Correct answer, D. Explanation. Updating the burn-down chart daily after the daily scrum ensures accurate, real-time tracking of sprint progress. Question 15. A product owner notices that a team's velocity has decreased significantly over 3 sprints. What should the Scrum Master do? A. Escalate the issue to senior management. B. Replace underperforming team members. C. Collaborate with the team to identify causes and remove impediments. D. Reduce the definition of done to accelerate delivery. Correct answer, C. Explanation. The Scrum Master's role is to serve the team, helping uncover and eliminate barriers to progress rather than enforcing blame. Thank you for watching. We hope this video will help you enhance your project management knowledge. Please subscribe, like, and share our content. We will meet on the next one.